Jones, Indiana Jones, Indiana. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we're sitting in our booth at the back of the after party watching the credits for the film Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor, and look at this guy over here. Who's this? My buddy Pete. What you doing, Pete?
I'm just counting the minutes. I got crystal skullitis.
Oh, yeah.
It's like senioritis, but crystal skullitis.
Well,
It won't be long
like
now, Pete.
Yeah.
it's inflammation.
Inflammation of the skullitis.
Yeah. We'll see if we can pop that for your Lance.
Or is that an infection?
Yeah.
Gross.
Who knows?
No, maybe it's an infection.
Boil.
I'm Gerald Christopher 97.6 Porter.
Oh.
It's usually I run cold on the temperature.
I guess so.
We all run cold.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here. Hey, scoot over. Jerry, your sister's
look at
here.
me.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey,
Have a
is this
seat.
taken?
No.
Thanks.
There's room for you. All four of us.
Yep.
Thanks.
Welcome,
But
Professor Christy Porter.
Ice cold
you so much.
Christy.
That's right.
Running
right.
cold.
But Jared, that's not a saint.
Yeah, what's going on? That's a number. That's a
Yeah,
percent.
patron saint of running cold.
Guess so. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody get comfy. We're going to talk about minute 119, which is another minute of credits. This minute begins with the credit for a position called Post Effects Guy, and it ends with the credit for Script Supervisor. And of course, this minute's special because it's got our buddy Bert.
Yeah.
Listed as both
Hooray.
sound design and one of the supervising sound editors. The hero of the series and most series.
Yeah.
You know what we see in the scroll? That the food was provided by, was it Tony's Food?
Oh, really?
Tony's.
Yeah,
it
I
was Tony's.
I
missed
saw that too. I think that was a later minute,
so
but yeah.
It may have been. I wonder. So did Bert like borrow their macaroni?
Their
Oh,
casserole,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their
Right.
casserole for
Yeah.
the punches
It's a good
and
question.
the big.
Yeah.
I need more spit. Hang on.
Oh, God. Oh.
Oh dear.
Somebody get Jerry a drink.
So I feel like this is the first movie where I wasn't drawn to the sound like I was in the other three. And I wonder, is that a good sign? Does that mean it was so organic that I didn't notice? Or is that the sign
he's
that
finally matured.
He's finally
showboating.
yeah.
Yeah, he's just serving the film.
Or is it just is he more
Very
nuanced and subtle like this film?
That's a trick question, Pete.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
That's a
remember
good
bringing
question.
him up a lot this movie though, if at all.
In previous movies or in all the other movies that you've ever seen, from 0 to 100, how distracted are you by sounds?
I don't know. I mean, in Star Wars and Raiders and stuff, and some of the other ones. I mean, you get some punches and some shotgun blasts and whip cracks and things, and
some of those I'll hear for the rest of my
Wilhelms and
life, like the
whatnot.
toilet lid sliding as the Ark of the Covenant lid, like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
I think of that every time I stick my head in the tank of the toilet. I think about the Ark of the Covenant.
That's it's beautiful.
Which is every time we record this, and you're like, I could be listening to Raiders.
That's how I get myself psyched up. I stick my head in the toilet.
You
guys don't?
If I think of Marion's bar, then those punches.
Yeah, the cannons.
So although it may be showboating, but
Maybe.
it's visceral. It feels.
I think it's appropriate for a crazy fight scene. Yeah, to have visceral, showboaty sounds. Yeah.
Do you remember the guy who gets clubbed over the head with the torch? And he's it's kind of funny because he's wearing a specific type of hat.
Yeah.
and yeah, he's got the hat. I don't know if he thought that was. I don't know if that was just a a wardrobe choice for the day for him, or if it was like part of his henchman armor.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just like
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
That raises a big question for me, though. This may spark some controversy.
Uh-oh.
Do we like this
Ready.
movie less than the other three because it's less cartoon-like? Like it doesn't have the cartoon.
Wait a minute.
It doesn't have the cartoon-like Finn Bert cannons or the bonks or the.
So many assumptions in that question.
Yeah, really.
It doesn't.
Explain yourself, Mummer.
Okay, some of you like this movie more than some of the others, but I wonder if I don't like this movie as much because it's less cartoon-like.
Wait a minute. It's not. Yeah, Pete, you're right now. You're a troll on your own show.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but
Yeah.
in a way, I think there's something to that. Like those other movies were kind of like comic books, and this one, the cinematography and the sound design, both seem like they were going for something a little more realistic than the other ones. And I don't know if that.
Okay, hang on.
Lends itself to this.
Exhibit A triple waterfall.
Yeah, that's a
No,
little
well, that's not
cartoony.
that's not the
little.
that's not the cinematography or the sound design though.
Yeah, but you're saying the cinematography of Raiders is more cartoonish?
Yes.
I'm confused.
No,
don't
you
know.
said that like a weird.
No.
Yeah, you said that like the guy in Vegas and it's the last night and you're playing blackjack and you got like a 14 or whatever. You got a 16.
But no,
And
like,
you don't want to like.
Pat Roach is
"Who's
right
taking
out of a
another
cartoon.
card?"
Like there's a lot of like tote melting is right out of a cartoon
I wouldn't say it's out of a cartoon.
or out of a comic.
Yeah, no,
out
I mean,
of a
it's
comic.
it's over the top and it's crazy.
They're
but
like
it's,
they're old serials. This one is. I feel like the look of this. I'm not saying the plot. I'm saying the look of this and the sound of this feel a little more like they're going for something a little more realistic. And I'm saying I don't know. If
Hold on. This is like year 5 or 6. We've been doing this.
I'm a broken man. I'm not saying anything I'm saying is making any sense.
We have to apologize for Pete. Waitress, can we just get Pete needs something? Get him like a Virgin Shirley Temple. Thank you.
Yeah, we
Is
are
there a
on the
non-virgin Shirley Temple?
We'll find out. We're gonna find out.
Yeah,
We'll start.
yeah.
We'll start here and we'll progress as the evening goes on.
we're on the foot line. To the end zone. We're 1 foot from the end zone,
Yeah.
and you're opening up the playbook, and you're going, well, I don't know if this offense has served us well.
No, I'm saying that I think that's not. See, you guys see me calling it comic book like as an insult, and my apologies, Chris Eliopoulos and the rest of you. I'm saying that's not an. I'm not saying that's an insult. I think those were meant to be like pulp.
I think what's throwing
top.
me is that you're saying that in comparison to this one. Like this one strikes me as like.
But look
Like
at
kind of day glow and washed out in a bright, weird way that you can't quite look at, and it's
which is
and
not at
everything
all
that
like
happens is very goofball
not at all
and-
pulpy or like a comic book. It's very much like a.
Well, comic books and cartoons are very different, or at least I think of them
That's
as very
true.
different.
But this is like a Yanni
Which-
music video.
Yes, this is like a Yanni music.
But it's
Did you
not
just
pulp.
say a Yanni music?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't know what that
It is like
John.
Yanni.
It's John Tesh. Okay, it's a John Tesh music video. It's
Why are you guys watching John Tesh and Yanni music videos to the point where you know what they are?
Why are we watching Crystal
completely
Skull
need-
for
I don't know.
123
I completely
minutes?
need
It's a really
the
good
Shirley
question.
Temple that's non-virgin.
Pete,
Yeah,
it's like Yanni at the Acropolis.
It is. I'm saying
Oh
I
my
feel like that
goodness.
doesn't match the other movies. I feel like the other movies have something that I think is fun about the fact that they're a little bit on the pulpy side, and I feel like this maybe doesn't have that.
All right,
I
so
am
let me-
beginning to understand what you mean.
Yeah,
I
no,
think.
I know what you're. I know what you're saying.
Okay.
You're saying that in Marion's bar, the guy gets hit over the,
The guy
head
has
with
a
the
funny
torch.
hat. They
Yeah.
got great. Their expressions are hilarious.
Wait, Pete. I'm going to say that is culturally inappropriate to call that a funny hat.
Oh my god.
Just because it's not the type of hat that you may find and
We
wear
didn't
in
have to
San
do the credits. We
Francisco.
could have ended this 2 minutes ago. We could have been out of this.
See,
Oh,
Jerry's
too
got
late.
to. He's got to go ad hominem when he realizes that I might have a point here.
Nah.
Well, no, well, you're saying that he gets hit over the head and he goes, "Ow!" and then Marion. It is funny. Marion hits the guy with the frying pan and it goes, "Boink!"
Yeah.
Okay.
And this doesn't have.
So
yeah,
there's
I
like
get
there's
that.
a
nothing like-
stylized sense to the violence and action and stuff of the other ones. It's coming from a place of, oh, the serials did this, we're gonna kind of put our spin on it. Whereas this movie is more like, it's a bunch of stuff that happened. Like, we'll just do stuff and it'll be crazy and weird and we'll use computers and stuff. And it's less grounded in that sensibility. Is that what you mean, maybe?
I think maybe the problem is that these guys took your advice
Uh-oh.
and they took themselves seriously. I don't know. I feel. I
That's
feel
a
like
problem?
I don't know. I
Why
feel
would
like
that be
something.
a problem?
I don't know why it's a problem, but I feel like it is.
Because, by the way, they also sink in quicksand.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
that's the same kind of. I mean, maybe it didn't have the sound design it was supposed to, like sucking sounds.
They use a snake as a rope.
They
But
do use it, and they sit there in the middle like, wait, you and me and my.
But see,
And they do that in
It
this
was
movie.
filmed before a live studio
It
audience.
is. But I'm not talking about the plot per se. I'm talking more about the way it's presented.
Okay.
I do. Okay. In fairness, I do understand what you are saying. I do. I think that what we have said consistently over the last 5 or 6, I don't know, 12 years we've been doing this, is that Raiders could get away with what would have been one of the most egregious scenes in the entire Indiana Jones canon, which was a sped-up tote running out into the snow and going,
Oh yeah.
See, I think that actually adds
Yeah.
to the charm. Like, I think that's actually a bit of it.
the dog just jumped up on the bed when I did that. That's gonna be all right, pal. It's gonna
But
be
you know,
all
like
right.
even Indy, like the famous scene, you've got the guy with the whip, and you've got the guy in the Cairo market, or he's got the swords, and it's
yeah.
like, and then he just nonchalantly shoots him. That's funny. Like, it's a ridiculous, funny scene. Like a lot of the
But
scenes.
That
in those
one wasn't
movies.
even planned.
Yeah,
We
that's true.
s-
Yeah.
We said that it works because of the landscape or the backdrop of the entire movie. I wouldn't even say the word forgive those moments. For whatever reason, those cartoonish, or as you said, pulp like moments shine. They're accentuated because the rest of the movie is so well done.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I don't think they're a flaw at all. Like, I don't think there's something to be forgiven. I think they're part of the fabric of what made it great. And I feel like, and I think my struggle here is I have no idea why I don't like this film as much. I'm struggling to.
It is
119
weird.
minutes
It's
in.
very easy to say that, like,
I'm
one was made
struggling
in
to find why.
1981 and the others, made in like 2000 something. That's like an easy line for me, but I can't describe that to somebody, who doesn't have that age.
And I think it goes deeper
Margin,
than like when it was made. I don't know. I just feel like
It
there's
does.
something
It does. But it's hard to-
intangible that 119 minutes in I still can't put my finger on.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You could sink your teeth into Raiders of the Lost Ark. There were not that many minutes, from what I recall, even though we did have to watch the movie 1 minute at a time. I don't remember saying often, this minute makes no sense to me.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this is an incoherent chapter of the movie.
Yeah. Or what are they doing? What were they thinking?
Yeah.
We never said that during Raiders.
Yeah.
What's the matter with these people?
So
I want my money back.
But why?
Although, Indy having to swim, whatever. What did we say? Like, you have to swim from the submarine to,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
to
Yeah.
Malta
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah.
the hell it is he hangs on. For some reason that just gets filed very easily
Yeah.
under suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, if the movie, you're already
Or
on the
suspension
movie's
of
side
belief.
by that part. You
Yeah.
trust the movie, so you're like, okay, he held onto a periscope. Okay, well, he's an adventurer, whatever. So, like, but if you're not on the movie's side, if it hasn't won you over, and I would argue that by the end of the movie, this one has not. Yeah, you see, if that happened in this movie, be like, oh God, that stupid, dumb losers. Like, we'd just be furious. And we've had stuff like that.
But see, I feel like, so let's take Last Crusade, and I feel like I love Last Crusade. I feel like Donovan was drawn in fairly broad strokes, kind of like Spalko. Like, I feel like there wasn't a lot to dig into with him. Yet when he turned super old and died at the end, it felt like it had some heft to it and some weight to it, and it felt meaningful. Whereas when Spalko dies in this, it just, to me, feels like, oh, it's just something that happened.
For one thing, you know what happens. Like, we spent 2 weeks trying to go, okay, are the aliens trying to kill her? Is this like a punishment or a gift that goes wrong? Like, we don't know.
That's
like, Donovan, okay, he chose wrong. He gets punished by, God or Yahweh or the night or whatever.
Yeah.
So it makes sense within the movie. But, like, in this movie, we're like, what? Who?
Well, Pete, if there had been more bright spot on design or in some cartoonish way, do you think you would have liked it better?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like if you're going to go with Saucerman from Mars, maybe lean into that a little more. Maybe it would have made it more fun.
Yeah.
Because I think part of the reason is it seems
really
a little more
were.
plotting than the other movies.
Well, there really were some other places that they could, I don't know exactly where, but I think I understand what you're saying, and I think that there are some other places they could put in some whimsy. I think we're missing some whimsy.
Yeah, I mean, like in, Last Crusade, they're in the motorcycle in the sidecar.
And they fight.
You've got the little whimsical music, and there's just something about it. And this movie just seems like it kind of plods along. Like it just seems like it lumbers.
I can hear people writing to us saying, "Oh, come on!" Like listing all the quote unquote fun parts and like whimsy-ish parts. But I agree, they're not. They're my personal opinion is that they're usually kind of annoying and not actually fun or.
Well, okay, so
zippy.
come up with your two favorite whimsical moments, Tom.
From this movie? Mm-hmm. There are some.
Oh, that was awesome,
I can do it. I like.
I'm a professor.
Oh, you know what I like? I like. There's that weird thing that they use the Mayan calendar or whatever as like a balance thing, whatever. They got to crawl through that thing to get into the kit. But it slides back up, and then he's like, "Come on, genius!" And he kind of gives him a little finger curl.
That's good. Yeah,
I like that. That's a good little moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like him shoving the dead body onto mud and saying, "Here, hold this." Like there's little character bits like that I like a lot. I like the first half of this movie kind of just fine.
Yeah.
Or the first, third or something. I forget what. But after a while, it just gets kind of dumb. But there's definitely.
But
stuff
I
that
feel like they
in.
just get kind of dumb too. But for some reason, that's okay for me, and for some reason in this one, it's not. And I guess I'm asking all this. I'm not just trying to purposely provoke everybody, although part of me is at this point. But but I literally can't myself put my finger on why those work and this one doesn't for me. And I know
some more days you won't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I'll do it for you, Pete. You put your finger here. No, look, Raiders. We've said Raiders is gritty, and so those cartoonish moments. I don't know. It's very interesting. They become part of the fabric of this.
But Last Crusades isn't gritty at all.
No, it's not.
But those
and
work.
If you,
I think those work just fine too.
Well, hang on.
That's a different thing.
I always was a little bit.
No, I know you didn't like
against
that.
Last Crusade.
Yeah.
More than most people.
Yeah.
And it was because, as we've said, for whatever reason, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, you feel the peril. I don't know how they did it so that I care, but for some reason, you're not sure if Indiana Jones is going to escape, or he may die.
Yeah.
Where in Last Crusade, you just don't really feel the danger. Guns are kind of like, noisemakers. And you know what I mean? It just doesn't.
It also occurs to me, though, I do owe everybody a giant apology. Because I know how mad it used to make me when, Jerry, you would say like that those were bad films or like bad moments. And I know there are people out there listening to this that are like screaming at me, like, this isn't a bad movie, this is a great movie. And my apologies.
Well, that's not so bad.
I feel like most, and this is not a knock against the movie. Well, it is a knocking it, but I feel like most people who we've talked to and had on the show and talked to on the Crusade and stuff, even the defenders of this movie will often say, "Well, it's my fourth favorite, but it's really good. Like I like it a lot." It's like they kind of know that it's riddled with flaws and that it's kind of stumbling along, but they like it anyway. It works for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And that doesn't mean that there aren't people who it is absolutely sincerely their favorite. So good for them.
One thing that I've noticed is that I think about the other three movies in my regular life from time to time. Like something will happen over, and I don't ever think about this movie in my regular life.
There's something very surface about this movie. It's just stuff that happened on the screen, and there's nothing you can really connect to.
I mean, we barely could remember this movie as we were watching.
Oh God!
But is that because they didn't ground it in some kind of actual historical event that we.
Well, I don't know. The second one, I'm not sure what kind of historical events
That's
we have,
true.
and I thought it was super cartoony.
Yeah.
It was super
the
cartoony. Yeah.
The second one was very dizzying.
Yeah.
It's like the first one was gritty and a masterpiece, and the second one was, it's like, as we said, it was very, very dark. It felt like gratuitously dark for some reason. I guess divorce or whatever.
Right.
Steven Spielberg, George
It's
Lucas.
just divorce.
Yeah, and then over here you have like chilled monkey brains, and it was very, very dizzying.
That
where
was
it's
tonally
like, ooh.
dizzying, whereas this one is like plot dizzying. Like there wasn't a sequence of this movie where we weren't like, I don't quite know what's happening. I don't quite know what's going on.
Last Crusade was kind of like, we're getting the band back together, and we're going to play some of your favorite songs.
Yeah.
We're older now, and
Right.
that rockin' number that you love and is killer, we now do on acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
But see,
and you're slow down just a touch.
But
so we
even-
can
Slow
keep
down
up.
just a touch so you can drink a little bit more beer or wine. You can look gazingly, lovingly into your date's eyes a little bit. We've taken the edge off.
But even though we saw those at an older age, it has scenes that stick with us. Like everybody remembers a penitent man. Everybody remembers, going out on the bridge, or Donovan getting super old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't feel like there's a lot about this movie that is super memorable.
Well,
Right.
Pete, you've answered. You just put your finger on the place you need to put your finger. That's what it is. Why you don't like this movie.
Where's his other hand? I'm worried. It's not that big of a booth. I have something to say about the credits.
Oh.
There's another funny little thing in the credits. Not funny, but the
Are you talking about
casting
the art
associate-
department researchers? That's pretty funny that they had art department researchers.
No.
Oh wow.
That's funny.
Art department.
Is it Morag Ross?
Oh, probably.
I
It's the
didn't.
name I like, Morag. I don't know how you
No,
pronounce
but
that.
somebody in this name, their first name is Tanis.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Casting
saw that.
associate
That's awesome.
Tanis Valelli.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tanis
Tanis.
Valelli proceeding.
See,
Required
now
casting.
Obviously.
Staff
that
of Raw.
makes me happy.
See? So you feel good now hearing that, don't
Yes.
you? That feels nice.
Tanis.
Yeah.
Yes,
I hope
exactly.
it's Tanis and not Tanis.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it is two N's
Maybe it's
instead of
Tanis.
one. So yeah.
Oh,
we
two ends.
we have
That would be
never
Tanis then.
mispronounced names on this show.
Oh, never.
Dead
Never.
Home or-
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, okay, so let me ask you, Professor Christy Porter. There was a dialect coach to Ms. Blanchett. Yeah,
Okay.
it was. So do you think that Tim Monich, or since it's a dialect coach, maybe it's Tim Monish? Monish, maybe it's
Time
Tim
on the roll.
Monica.
Monish.
Yeah, Time Monica.
Yeah.
Do you think that they did a good job?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Wait, to Kate, you like Cate Blanchett? You liked her.
What about the W's?
Yeah, Jerry's
Yeah,
telling
what
you
about
W's.
you're wrong about
The
your
wobbly?
opinion, Christy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I am.
Well, didn't no
My
wait.
feelings are valid, Pete.
Aw.
They're valid.
When we started this, you were shredding on her accent and how crappy it was. That was I hate to tell you, that was a slow ball. I told you I was going to throw a slow ball, then I threw a slow ball.
Well,
I think just
now
as
I
we
have
can't
to
remember
tell
the
you,
movie, we can't remember the
that's-
show
that's-
from 3 years
We can't remember the
ago.
opinions
That's
we
exactly
had
it.
3 years
I can't
ago.
remember. I can't remember the movie very well. The W's. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, and not only that, professors in summer, so I don't have to
Oh.
profess anything.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kicking it.
You caught me. Forget it. Shut up.
I should also point out, as I said, I always look for Jodies and Sams. There is a Jody with an I, which does not count.
Yay.
My Jody is
Oh.
a Jody with a Y, but the closest I could come so far was a Jody with an
Well,
I.
wait
Miss
The
until
stock footage
Jodi.
researcher.
you get to next minute.
Ooh. God. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, we'll
find
wait
out.
for that then.
Yeah.
What we don't have to wait for is Max Johnson. I was going to throw that out there.
Oh,
Max.
Max
Oh man, that's a
Johnson.
great name.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't he
Yeah.
at least go by Maximus?
Yeah. Yeah.
Max.
Where's M? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or Skippy.
Mus.
Yeah.
Mus.
Yeah.
Buzz.
Yeah, but
Buzz
he's got like a,
doesn't sound much good either.
it'd be cool if he had like a little pager looking thing, and it was his little like electronic meter. It was
Hey,
0
where's
to
Johnson
max.
at? Oh,
Yeah.
Max. Yeah. I'm pinning it right now. It's in the red. It's gonna blow.
Tommy, behave.
We have. Does anybody have anything else about the actual credits here in this minute? The stunning cascade of names and jobs.
I other than that, I'm baffled by the fact they had art department researchers yet.
That is pretty weird. Yeah, I mean, what did they do?
Well, they just were so.
What do you mean?
Like, it seems like everything in Peru was in Mexico and everything. It just it seemed a little odd.
So you weren't buying. You weren't.
I wasn't buying that
convinced
they
by
did
the art.
research.
Maybe they just didn't label any of their files. Like,
That
here's
might
a
be it,
clay
yeah.
pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a
Clay pot number
blanket.
1.
Yeah.
Blanket number 1.
Here's a nun.
If I just
Number
completely
2.
trashed somebody who probably did a wonderful job. I
They're
apologize.
listening to the show and they just
Yeah.
started crying.
I'm
And Max
sorry.
Johnson probably feels bad too. I made fun of his name.
No, I bet he feels
you
great.
Think
Well, yeah.
he's the first.
If your name's Max Johnson, you're not gonna feel bad.
You know, imagine going
Hats
out on
off to you, sir.
date. You go out on dates with that name.
Max Johnson.
Yeah.
You either get like slapped or you're married.
Well, why did his parents hate him? That's our question.
See?
I guess.
Oh, little Max.
I mean, it's better than Minimus Johnson.
That's true.
That's that's true. Minnie Johnson. Minnie Johnson's not good.
No. But we put out a call to our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute
Hooray.
to help us out with these last few minutes, because it is just a dark screen full of names and it's hard to talk about stuff. Although we just spent a good half hour debating this
Talking about
movie.
Johnsons.
We talking about Johnsons, talking about things and stuff. But yeah, they sent in some questions, some comments, some head scratchers and things, and we should look at some of those and share them with you. Our buddy Benjamin from Patreon, he asked the question: do you think an indie-adjacent anthology series set in Cairo, 1935 to 1945, focusing on Salah, Omar, Katanga et al., would be a good idea?
I'm gonna make a lot more people mad. Like everybody that I haven't made mad yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
finish it off, Pete.
To me, this is sort of the Marvelization, like the Marvel universeization.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say no, because to me, this feels you would have to have too many coincidences to have all these guys in a movie. It feels sort of like bringing R2 and 3PO into the prequels and being in every scene. And I feel like
those three guys are connected. Like Salah and Katanga are pals, and Omar's is what, brother-in-law or something?
I guess.
Omar? Or is he?
Yeah.
But well, you finish what you're saying.
I feel like
I agree completely, but finish.
I mean, maybe if you did Forrestal and Abner, I feel like it might be better because we don't know anything about them and we're not boxed in. I just feel like we're sort of, when you do side stories or origin stories, you're very boxed in by the mythology.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. I've gotten to the age where I don't want more of the stuff that I like. I just like the stuff that I like. I don't need to pile on and muddy it with more stuff. With very few exceptions, we've had so much of this, and I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love all that stuff, and maybe because I didn't grow up with it as much as like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and stuff, they can throw as much of that at me as I want, and I'm excited. I like it all. But yeah, the more Star Wars I get, the more I'm kind of like, I really just want to watch Star Wars or Empire or Jedi. Just everybody leave me alone.
For some reason, I don't know if I'm just old, I haven't felt any interest in watching any, like the obiWan or the Boba Fett. And this
I don't think you're missing too much.
Question, Benjamin, and I think a lot of people would love this. I just personally I feel like.
So I think that the idea is a good one. I like Benjamin's idea, and I think of all the, it has to be just the right space. So it can't be completely random people, and it can't be people that I know a whole lot about. Like, agreed. I don't buy the Obi-Wan backstory, and I never did. I'm like, it's Alec Guinness, period, the end, and he was always 150 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it is.
Yeah.
We don't have to explain anything more. But those three, I think, actually, I would like to know more about them, or at least, if I were going to know more about something, those are they occupy a good relationship, good space.
You could imagine stories coming out of them.
Yeah.
You know,
every
they're
crime
doing
they solve is going to have to involve a boat. and it like some digging somewhere. And
A
it,
But I don't know, it
turtleneck.
could be some
Like
sort of
attention.
like resistance thing or something. They're like part of a network of underground.
it'd have to involve a boat and some digging and a garage.
Who docks
that you
the boat every
hide.
once in a while. I don't know.
A boat, a garage, and digging
Yeah.
in every episode.
They're like
See, I
the
feel
Wonder
like-
Twins.
I feel like a little bit like a Schrodinger's cat thing where it's cheating, where it's like if I open the box and I look and the cat's alive, and in this case if I open if I watch the actual show or the movie and it's great,
Yeah.
then I'm like, this is the reality that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Of course, the show.
Yeah, if this was I would generally lean against wanting this sort of thing, except that I have heard, but although I have not seen it, but Tommy, you've told me, Better Call Saul, the sort of whatever the Breaking Bad, I don't know, offshoot or compendium,
Adjacent.
whatever you want to say, adjacent, is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So
It is.
that's an example of we get a character and then they expand the universe and then it's fantastic. So when it's done correctly, it's magnificent.
I guess to
Yeah.
me, though, like characters like Katanga can't be divorced from the guy playing Katanga. Like I feel like when you add different actors, you just sort of change the people.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, the one weird cat, I've always agreed with you right down the line, Pete, about that point. But recently, in that other
Solo, a
franchise
Star
that I'm
Wars
the only
story?
one who cares about, no, Star Trek, a Star Trek story, Strange New Worlds, they have nailed that show. I think that show is great, and they've got new actors playing many of the characters we love from the original series. And it's great, and I don't mind that. Like I spent 2 episodes being like, "That's not Chapel, that's not Spock, that's not Uhura," but I've eased into it, and it's working just fine for me. So it can work, and obviously it's been working for years for a lot of people. I'm just a crank, who can't handle stuff. But
Look at that old fossil.
I'm an old fossil over here. I'm a great man.
yes, you are, honey.
Yeah, you said it, Chewie. Tommy sucks.
That's not what Jimmy said.
That's exactly what he said.
All that aside, though, like anything set in Cairo from 1934 to 1945 in this universe, I would watch the hell out of it.
Maybe just do that. Maybe just have a show about two guys in Cairo and a guy they know with a boat, like in the 30s and 40s, fighting the good fight, doing what they got to do.
It sounds like Riptide in Cairo.
It's
the
like Dukes of
robot.
Hazzard in Cairo. Yeah. We got another one of these. We got
Okay.
something from our buddy John over there. John, whose Patreon name is John, says, "Thank you, and may the force be with you always." That's really nice.
Oh, that was nice.
He sent a very long message about McGuffins, about indie McGuffins, and it boils down to, with the exception of Temple of Doom, Indy informs us that the lost person Abner, his dad. There's always somebody who's like the actual like genius about the MacGuffin. Like the one who got lost is the one who was like the real guy. Who's the right guy to look for that thing. So what are things that Indy seeks that he's actually an expert of?
Wait.
Great question. That's a great
That's
question.
kind of
is a
blowing
great-
my mind. This is
Yeah.
minute one, whatever, of Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
And we've never talked about this, that nothing Indy goes after is he's not going after it because he's interested in it, and B, he's not the expert in it.
Well, we have said that he's often like shoved by somebody else into the main mission.
And we
And
said
that,
the
like-
only thing that he really wanted was the Chachapoyan idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his. Well, at least, unless I don't know. We didn't catch.
He wanted the
front
diamond
story of that,
from
backstory.
Lao She.
That's what
Yeah, he
that's
wanted
what
the-
John
yeah.
is
Okay.
saying, that the two main ones that he knows about are the Cross of Coronado and the Eye of the Peacock, which is that diamond. Those are the two things we know about that he was although I think you're right, Jerry. The Chachapoyan idol, that's for all we know, that was exactly fully him. He wanted to go after that.
But he wanted the
I mean, he's
Cross
gonna
of
give it to the
Coronado, too.
museum,
Like
but
those
still.
are the things he wants.
Yeah. He spotted that thing. Like we see him discover that thing, and he doesn't even know what it is. I don't think when he's a kid. But he's like, that's not that. Those guys shouldn't be taking that. That belongs in a museum. I'm gonna get it.
It's interesting that he's always kind of every one of these movies he's dragged kicking and screaming into the actual plot.
I don't want to.
Like every single one
ask
of them.
Abner. Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
So-
I'll tell you a side movie I'd watch the heck out of. Wuhan.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
sure.
Yeah.
Wuhan and Cairo.
Wuhan. Is Wuhan like the greatest? Like he did the most with like the minimal time that he has. Like
I'd say Wuhan or Katanga.
I forget.
Katanga.
I
Wuhan
take
and
it back.
Katanga.
Wuhan.
Yeah.
It's Katanga all the way.
Yeah. It's true.
Sorry, Wuhan. Hey, George Leroy Tirebiter, our
Okay.
old pal from Patreon. He says, I don't know anything about Indy 5, intentionally avoiding all the news. Given that this will be the 5th movie of the trilogy, what acceptable ways are there to put a respectable end to the series? And he says, all I can think of is Indy gets knocked down in the big climactic fight. We zoom in and see him finally succumbing, and then pull back to reveal him on the floor of Jabba's palace with Leia Bausch explaining him.
Okay.
He's got
Yeah,
hibernation
now we're
sickness.
getting
That's
somewhere. Yeah.
beautiful. That's perfect.
That is
Yeah.
really
I don't know how else you would end it.
Yeah.
You know what I love? He called it the 5th movie of the trilogy.
Movie of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, he's clearly
Down to 5.
talking about Star Wars, Empire, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's right.
Fifth
Or like,
movie.
Raiders, Empire, and number 5. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that.
I like in the Hitchhiker's Guide series, they kept saying like
Oh, yeah.
book 5 in the increasingly misnamed trilogy. Or
Right. Yeah. But he makes the point that no matter how many plot holes there are in Crystal Skull, if it's a dream, it's all a fever dream, then it all makes perfect sense.
oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
no plot
Beautiful.
holes in
That is.
dreams.
And maybe that makes the sort of interesting lighting in this more interesting too.
Yeah, maybe.
So Indy 5 is just going to be
Yeah.
Indy's like in high school, and he needs to take an exam, and he can't find the room, and he forgot to study, and he's not
Yeah.
wearing clothes.
Yeah. Maybe
Oh,
that
gee,
top
wow.
secret scene.
I've got a question.
Okay.
Is it okay? Is it good? Is it best if Indy dies in Indy 5?
All right, Pete, I want you to shut up.
Yeah,
So that's not
I mean,
you
but-
would not end it that way.
No.
Okay.
I just wouldn't. No. That's terrible.
Well, what
No,
if
I
okay?
don't-
What if he dies, but he dies?
No.
What if he dies taking a step, and it happens to just be a regular ass chasm, and he falls?
Yeah. He clutches his hand to his heart. He's like, I've got faith now. I'm going to, whoa!
That's the Wilhelm. No. You can't kill Indiana Jones. That's just goofball. No.
I think. Well, okay. What if we just saw what if he had a natural death at like the age of 102?
He's got an eye patch. He's on a banister.
Yeah, he's
Okay, that's
threatening to
cartoon.
whip some kids. Yeah.
That's a cartoon.
Yeah. It seems it does seem unnecessary. Without spoiling
to
it, like,
die.
there was just a major action hero who died on screen a couple of years ago or this year. I forget when. That time means nothing.
Uh-huh.
And it seemed a little unnecessary. Like, I'm not sure why they did that. But with Indiana Jones, yeah, it does. Like, yeah, if he dies in the heat of battle or action, that seems
No.
no, I don't know.
No,
yeah,
I
dying of
don't
old
think-
age. What's
yeah.
the point?
It can't
Like,
happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
No.
yeah,
No,
But it's a good question. I don't know how they're going to end it, and we couldn't possibly have a 6th.
right.
We couldn't possibly have a 6th.
Well, haven't they said that this is going to be John Williams' last score, and it's going to be Indy's last, like
Oh,
Harrison
yeah.
Ford's last movie? And I don't know if that's true. That's just what.
His last movie ever? Really?
Well, okay. So so he rode off into the sunset, and then on this one, I guess he kind of, walks out of the church married.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they going to use the sunset again?
He's gonna take a rocket ship into the sun and save the Earth.
And then that'll turn into the the headpiece of the staff of Ra.
Yeah.
No, what would be an appropriate into the sunset?
Well, that's the problem. You had it.
Yeah.
Okay, how about-
They
how about
did. They
this?
nailed it.
How about
They
this?
nailed
How
it with
about
Last Crusade.
How about he's on a plane, and we have an updated 1960s or 70s map whenever this takes place, and they do the dun dun dun.
And he just puts his hat down over his head.
And he puts his hat
I
down
like
over
that.
his head.
I like that.
And
That's
he's
not
on
bad.
vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's off to an adventure, but the adventure may be a vacation. Like maybe
Or
he's taking
he's
a
on his way
break.
Back to Marion or something. He's like,
Yeah.
I had my adventure. I'm going home. I'm gonna go see my sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna put my dogs up.
Yeah.
No, okay.
that to me, that's.
But
a
I
problem
like
with
the
this
image of
movie.
him on the plane. Him on the. He's,
I like the-
he's
yeah, I
kinda
like
Yeah,
the plane.
but I
Yeah.
don't. I think
That's
that's
good.
fine.
But I like
We've
the.
come up with 2 really good endings for the next movie, and I don't know if they're going to use them.
Well,
if
I
they
like-
don't listen to this show.
I like the idea that we still want to be wondering, like, what adventure is he on next? And I feel like he didn't get that with Crystal Skull. I hope you do get that with this.
No, yeah. Well, we know he's got bingo on Thursday.
No.
Yeah, look, applesauce Wednesday.
Yeah, and he
No.
might make it to the the vote at
Yeah,
the
he's getting
town
his eyes
square.
dilated on Friday.
Yeah, gotta get his tires rotated.
He's gonna be on the updated version. He's gonna be like on a Pan Am plane, and he's gonna have like those big optometry sunglasses on.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you're not in charge. All of you.
Aw.
I'm telling you.
I am too.
Okay, our buddy Matt Drum, who's our buddy from the show.
Yeah.
He was a guest on
Hooray.
the show. Matt Drum asks, or he says, I have a mystery or riddle for you guys. How is Shia LaBeouf maybe responsible for Ted Lasso? Hint, Google some celebrity gossip among the players. And I did. I Googled some celebrity gossip, and I don't know if this is what he's getting at, but like Jason Sudeikis is divorcing or breaking up with his wife or girlfriend, Olivia Wilde, who apparently is having an affair with Harry Styles, who she only met because Shia LaBeouf dropped out of a movie, and Harry Styles replaced him.
Wow, pretty good there, Tommy.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you type in the right names, you get answers to stuff.
You're like
I guess.
you're
Wow.
that famous meme of the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like with all the pictures on the wall with all the yarn going between them.
No, you're at least better than an art department researcher.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see?
But thank you, Matt. See, Matt figured it out before, and that might not even be it. I hope I hope I connect my yarn the right way, but we'll see. Mark, meeting you, our buddy Mark Campbell, who's been on the show and has been a strong supporter of us over at. By the way, if you're sad that you didn't get to write any questions or ask us anything on these final shows, you should have been a Patreon this whole time over at patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute, at which place you could support the show at whatever level you want and get free stuff. Anyway.
It's not too late because there's going to be a 5th movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what shenanigans we'll get onto over there. So, yeah, get on over there. And we're going to, that's going to continue after this show, so who knows.
Yeah.
Mark asks, would you ever want, this is kind of similar to what we were saying before, would you ever want Disney to attempt another series based on Indy, all of the Star Wars TV shows? Perhaps only as a young man fresh out of university, young Sala, young Marcus, really young Marion, no saxophone or midichlorians.
Oh,
I think you
man.
do have to say no saxophone. It's
I'm
probably best to leave Marion out of it.
I feel like I have PTSD from young Indy.
Can I say something that just absolutely almost broke my mind this week? Is that our buddy Doris and our buddy Andrew were both asking, hey, how
saw
come you
that.
guys have never covered
Yeah.
Curse of the Jackal, the first young Indy? I'm like, are you telling me that we watched that goddamn thing and we covered it for like an hour and a half or something and no one remembers it?
Wait, was that the
look up
name
that we
of the
did it.
saxophone one?
No,
that
that
was a different
we
one.
did 2 of those damn things. We did
We
the
did?
Mystery of the Blues, yeah.
Curse of the
Like, I
Jackal was
remember
the
Mr.
riding with Pancho Villa one.
Yeah.
We
It
did
was like
that?
Pancho Villa, and it was like Egypt, and it was
Yeah.
and Barranco was in it.
There he's
and,
blowing up a mine or something, or
Yeah,
Wait, why did we do that?
I don't know.
I don't know,
But
Jerry.
yeah, I think Andrew asked us to.
People
and we did
wanted
it,
us to.
and then he didn't
he
give us
said
any
that would be a
credit
great
for
thing
it.
for us to forgot you did.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. That's what happens when you try to be nice to people.
See if we ever touch young
No,
Indiana
that's why
Jones
I'm
again,
never
you
going to be nice
monsters.
to any of you. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care if you're Patreons. I don't care if you're not Patreon. Forget it.
I don't know if this is just Tommy's bad influence getting shucked off on me, but I'm starting to think, can I be at peace if there are no more Indiana Jones? Like, do I need an offshoot with with Marcus or whatever, and I guess I wouldn't completely shut it down or be furious, but I also wouldn't run out to. I mean, I would. I probably would.
That's the thing. Like, if it happened, I would run out and see it, but I'm not
Yeah.
looking for it. I don't need it.
I'm not looking for
And like you said, if it ends up being great, fantastic. It's great.
Yeah.
And if it's not, I'll just ignore it or something.
But okay, I'll go back to this is a Pete Mummert sentiment. The idea of having an expanded universe or more stories might only not be palatable because of our age. Like, we're just old cantankerous men now who like what we like.
Christy.
And
and women.
Sorry, Christy. That's right. Yes.
Cantankerous
And
women.
by the way, Pete, that hat's not funny looking. So maybe we are just because of where we are in our own lives, we're like, nah, it's like a thing I gotta watch. It's not gonna be as good, and I've been lied to before. It's just one of those things, as opposed to
we have been hurt.
Yeah, like if it came out an expanded universe and we were 14, we'd be like, oh my god, you see the new Marcus movie is coming out?
Yep.
But see, I guess personally, and
Excuse me.
that was. I'm sorry.
I tried to aim it away.
My eyes twitching. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like this movie. But personally, the one non-trilogy Star Wars movie that I really liked was Rogue One, and I like the idea of having a movie set in the same indie universe that has archaeology and crazy stuff, but don't use any of the same characters. Just have different people doing stuff in that same universe.
But when you say the indie universe, isn't that just Earth in the 30s or 40s?
Well,
it's
generally, I
not
don't
a
think
universe,
Earth had
really.
people
It's not-
melting or people exploding or people getting
guess
really
so.
old really fast. Like, I feel like there were maybe different rules and there were different. It was a little more cartoony, which I know is going to make you
It
mad.
was a little more cartoony.
The people getting old really fast are here.
I know, really. It doesn't feel like it's that fast, but it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's
so
it.
all
what
chose
ages
poorly.
should the fifth movie be geared towards, other than mine?
Oh, you mean the audience, or
Who are we trying to appeal to? If in supposing we can't appeal to everybody, like I don't know how many 14-year-olds are going to run right out and watch the.
that's the
fifth movie
title?
of the
Well,
trilogy.
now they are, because they're putting Indiana Jones into Fortnite video games and stuff, and they're putting them on lunchboxes, and you can see a big push of like Indiana Jones showing up.
No, this
everywhere,
needs
so I
to
think
be
they
like
are-
on
no
Golden
idea.
Pond. This has got to be. You got to be at least 50 to enjoy this movie.
Now I want to see Dabney Coleman in an Indiana Jones movie. That'd be really good.
Lord.
Okay, we got one more of these. Dagobah Dick, whose actual name is our buddy Mark Trinko. He says, "Battle of the Network Stars." That is all. So do with that what you will. Battle of the Network Stars.
Are people in the Indiana Jones movies athletic? Like, could they do a Battle of the Network Stars? Like, I feel like Star Wars, a lot of the people are, but are people in Indiana Jones athletic?
I mean, I could see like every Pat Roach character doing the thing where you throw the,
Like the-
telephone pole and stuff, and
Yeah,
Cable
there you
pull
go.
a tractor or something.
Yeah.
Island Games. That's right. Tractor pull. Yep. Obviously.
You have to use the other guy as leverage, and she gets pulled into a steamroller.
Right.
That didn't work out. Oh well.
But who's going
I
to
do
do like
wanna see
the
that, though.
4x400 relay, or who's going to do the pole vault, or who's going to do the? I don't know if Indy
He's
has a lot
not a
of
bad
people like
runner. You know, I don't know.
Or what about like somebody who can start the horse up the fastest? Yeah.
Yeah. And would it just be Indiana Jones, or would it be like, Sala versus Todd Bridges?
It'd have
or
to be.
Sonny Bono versus
Yeah.
Katanga or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
But what movie? What movie would you
I
face
badly
off?
want to see that.
Like who? What movie would you
Yeah.
like? The Mummy, or what?
Watch out, Toad! Here comes Gabe Kaplan. He's right on your tail.
You get like pushed out of the front of a truck.
Yeah, and you have to crawl back underneath.
Sure.
Yeah. And there's the water balloon toss.
They'd all have to wear like really short white shorts and long tube socks and like a white tennis shirt. And
Oh, TV used to be a wonderland. Just a wonderland of magic. My God.
You know what? I'm wondering, is Dagobah like penis breath?
Penis breath?
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm gonna imagine, like, Dagobah, you're like, all right, so is it just covered in moss and,
Ugh,
like, sort of weeping willow type?
God.
Okay.
Again, we didn't have to do the credits. We could have just stopped. Like, at, 118
Well, he
or whatever.
chose it. He chose it. Wait,
He
here
did.
comes the
Chris.
dog.
Yeah. You say Dagobah, the dog comes running.
Listen, that wasn't for you, pal, okay?
Oh, my God. Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I think somebody else wants this table for a little bit. We're going to go wait in the,
Oh, wait,
parking lot until we're allowed to come back in.
wait,
I'm
there's
sorry.
something
Oh, jeez.
coming in. There's something whoa. Something
my.
coming in. It's from a, wait a minute. What?
Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Steve Austin? Oh, my God.
Wait, no, this is from our good friend, Brent.
What?
Yes,
Hooray.
from this just in from Brent, who's usually living inside the Tauntaun in Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
Yeah. Keeping it warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so wait, it's coming in
That's
over
a good, a sonar.
It is. I think he's working with submarines right now.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's coming in over the sonar machine. Our
Wow.
good friend Brent. Let's see. Yes, he's interrupting our recording.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Let's
Just
see.
cut our deep sea internet cable.
That's what it is. Yeah. I'm looking. A missive. Brent wants to agree with whatever Pete just said.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that's very
It's
nice.
always a good policy.
After this episode, I'm
Way
not
to
sure.
go, Brent.
I think he may take that back.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's bold
Thank you,
and
Brent.
brave.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brent. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Professor Christy Porter. Thank you, Pete. Thank all of you guys, and thank
Thank you,
myself.
Tom.
I think we're doing
Yes,
a great
thank
job
you,
here.
Tom.
Yeah.
We all
you're,
need.
you're a great man.
Yeah, great at getting us out of this episode. Let's see. But yeah, we're gonna be back again. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We're
Whoa.
finishing this off all week. We're having a blast. We do have to get kicked out of this booth for a second, but we're going to be back as soon as we can. So come back here tomorrow. Join us here to squeeze into the booth with us for minute, 120 of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Pete, quickly do the Cairo music. Do it.
See, I've got the.
Do it!
I've got the.
That's really close.
Yeah, do you hear how
That hack John
beautiful
Williams.
his tas are beautiful. You can
Beautiful
tell Pete,
tas.
you studied like a little bit of music. They did it ta 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 ta.
I'm saying Tata. The waitress thinks she's talking about you. You're talking about her.
Oh, Lord.